Cintianco Cubales. I'm a professor in San Francisco State University, right here, in the College of Ethnic Studies, Asian American Studies, and then I also teach in education. So I'm also the director of Pinay and Pinoy Educational Partnerships, and we call ourselves PEP. Is there anybody from PEP in the house? Woohoo! Okay, good. I'm also the consultant for San Francisco Unified School District, and we're the ones who help get ethnic studies in the schools. So basically we're here, we're talking about banned books, but we're focusing primarily on Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed. So I'm pretty much going to read a little portion from the introduction, and then I'm going to have a bunch of teachers from PEP read excerpts and then talk about how it relates to the work that they do with young folks. Okay? So this is from Richard Schall's introduction of Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed. There's no such thing as a neutral educational process. Education either functions as an instrument which is used to facilitate the integration of younger generation into the logic of the present system and bring about conformity to it, or it becomes the practice of freedom. The means by which men and women deal critically and creatively with reality and discover how to participate in the transformation of their world. So basically, this is where the book starts. This is the introduction of Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed. And it's basically telling us education can either oppress folks or it can liberate folks. And in the organization that I work with, and also in ethnic studies, the College of Ethnic Studies, we're here to use education to liberate people and to liberate ourselves. So please welcome Pinay and Pinoy Educational Partnerships.
Hi everyone, my name is April. I'm also a teacher for PEP. I teach at Denman Middle School on Thursdays, and those are, this year we're teaching 6th graders at Denman, so it's their first year going into junior high. So the quote I wanted to read is actually from chapter 3 of Pedagogy of the Oppressed, and it goes like this. Domination reveals the pathology of love, sadism in the dominator and masochism in the dominated. Because love is an act of courage, not of fear. Love is commitment to others. No matter where the oppressed are found, the act of love is commitment to their cause, the cause of liberation. And this commitment, because it is loving, is dialogical. As an act of bravery, love cannot be sentimental. As an act of freedom, it must not serve as a pretext for manipulation. It must generate other acts of freedom. Otherwise, it is not love. If I do not love the world, if I do not love life, if I do not love people, I cannot enter into dialogue. On the other hand, dialogue cannot exist without humility. So this is one of my favorite quotes in Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed, because it just reminds me that it's not oppression that frees people, it's the act of love and being able to love the things that you do and to love yourself that really allows you to not only to free yourself, but to free the people around you. So I like to think about this quote when I'm teaching my Denman 6th graders, because I like to think about it as by trying to find myself and trying to allow myself to love myself, if that makes sense. I'm also, in turn, allowing the kids to do that for themselves. So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Arlene Daus-Bagwal. I am an Associate Director of Program Development for Pinoy Educational Partnerships. And I've been reading this book for the past 9 years and how it's informed my life as a student, as an educator, and also as a parent and a wife, and how I relate to everybody else in my life. So, my favorite quote in this book is this, chapter 4. The revolution is made neither by the leaders for the people nor the people for the leaders, but by both acting together in unshakable solidarity. This solidarity is born only when the leaders witness to it by their humble, loving, and courageous encounter with the people. Not all men and women have sufficient courage for this encounter, but when they avoid encounter, they become inflexible and treat others as mere objects. Instead of nurturing life, they kill. They kill life. Instead of searching for life, they flee from it. And these are oppressor characteristics. And so, going through my own doctorate program, I was doing a doctorate program in educational leadership, and just understanding leadership among those who are involved in policymaking and education. This is about humanization. This is about leaders who need to understand who they are in relation to the people that they serve. And I think this is very important, especially for people that want to ban this book, and not understanding why this book is critical to people's lives and to students' lives, and why we all need to read this book to transform our educational system. Thank you.
What's up? My name is Eduardo Taylor. I also go by ET for short, is my initials. And so yeah, I'm also a PEP teacher. I teach at Balboa High School in the Excelsior District, San Francisco, California. And yeah, so I'm going to read a quote from chapter 1 from the book Pedagogy of Pests by Paulo Freire. And then my quote that I chose, because the quote really, I don't know, I really connected with it because it just says that as the oppressors dehumanize others and violate their rights, they themselves also become dehumanized. As the oppressed, fighting to be human, take away the oppressor's power to dominate and suppress, they restore to the oppressors the humanity that they had lost in the exercise of oppression. And it is only the oppressed who, by freeing themselves, can free their oppressors. So the reason why I like that quote is just like, you know, from the outside and from like, just from other people's perspective, it seems like, you know, the oppressors are the ones in power. They're telling us what to do, but actually, like, you know, we're the ones like in power because like we can free ourselves and free them. Because they can't free both, they can't free either of us. Like we're the ones like who hold that power to like liberate all people, you know what I mean? And like that's kind of like what we teach in PEP as well as like just learning about how all of these oppressors and colonizers, what they did to people of color, is just like no matter what they did, like, you know what I mean, we still hold the power to like reclaim that and just switch everything up and like just change the game. Okay, thank you.
My name is Lauren Daos and I'm part of PEP 2 and I teach at Balboa High School. So I'm going to read a quote from chapter 2 of the book. It says, "The truth is, however, that the oppressed are not marginals, are not people living outside society. They have always been inside the structure which made them beings for others. The solution is not to integrate them into the structure of oppression, but to transform that structure so that they can become beings for themselves." So what we try to do in PEP is, you know, one of the main things we try to create a community within each other, within, you know, our community. And we don't try to, you know, put our students outside of society. We try to make them, you know, help them fit in with each other and, you know, just share who they are with each other and, you know, get to know themselves as humans and not as, you know, the oppressed people. So I believe that's one of the main things that we do in PEP. We try to include everyone and not try to be exclusive, but inclusive, and trying to just build a community within ourselves to fight for, you know, freedom and the equality that we deserve.
Take a shot of this shirt real quick. Everybody in the audience, read the statement in the back of my shirt. So I'm about to speak the true word, y'all. So my name is Roderick Das Magwal. I'm the Associate Director of Curriculum for the Pinoy Pinay Educational Partnerships. I'm also an Ethnic Studies instructor at Skyline College. I teach the Filipino Community Issues course over there, Sociology 142. So for all my community college transfers, where y'all at? All right. So this is my quote right here. "Never in history has violence been initiated by the oppressed. How could they be the initiators if they themselves are the result of violence? Violence is initiated by those who oppress, who exploit, who fail to recognize others as persons, not by those who are oppressed, exploited, and unrecognized." This policy that's going on in Arizona is nothing new. It's something that's been going on in U.S. history. Exploitation, scapegoating. This is banning of intellectual work. This is a sign of dehumanization. And this is something that I have my little daughter right there that's 3.5, and I don't want I don't want folks to take away what has inspired me through my graduate program, as a professor, as an intellect, as a Pinoy Pinay educator. So this is a dire straits. This is a struggle that's going to be going on from here on out. The struggle was before me and after me. You got to speak the true word, y'all. Don't let them take it over. Power of the people.